Researching you thoroughly, I went to OpheliaRain.com and there is a movie there.
Oh yeah, with the one movie that I didn't. I can't believe that's still there. It's like
I can't believe
OpheliaRain.club
I
or
can't believe
something.
I can't believe the website's still there
Like
because that's
in
all it
Europe.
is. It's just one movie, and you got to see this movie. I loved it. It was your Uncle Jack.
Oh yeah, Uncle
You
Jack.
were late for work.
Late for twerk.
Oh, you were twerking.
Mhm.
So Uncle Jack has a bad back, so he's laying naked and he's like, "Can you rub my back?" And then
And
she's
it's
like,
all connected. The
"No,
dick's
yeah."
all
She's like, "I
connected.
see your dick coming out of your," and then she starts rubbing the dick.
I
It's
think
all
it's a
connected.
hot scene. He's an older man, but
Yeah, this
he's
guy's
got
like
it going
60 years
on.
old, like Uncle
He's
Jack.
like my age.
Yeah, so something like that. Except he's holding up a little better.
He's older than 60.
But no,
He was an old Delta pilot.
was he?
Yeah, and then he started doing porn just because he could get it up and come when he was told.
Ah, good for him.
It's literally a talent. Like that's why they're male talent.
No, I can imagine. Yeah.
Guys always hit me up. They're like, "Oh, I just want to do porn so bad. How do I get into porn?" And I was like, "Are you okay with like a dude just being over top of you, constantly filming you, like 6 people in the room, and then they're like, okay, it's time to come now."
So the trick is coming on command.
Yes.
Because some people do it too quick.
And like the guys have to, because the girls are so out of it, not out of it, but like they have to like maneuver the girls so it's good for the camera, and
right.
like because every position you have sex in porn is kind of like it's for the camera. It's not really for you.
I've heard that.
Like even doggy style, which is my favorite position, but the guy has to be like
Hold
slightly,
on, I'm making a note of that. Hold on.
has to be like
style.
slightly, like has to be opened up. It's called opening up to the camera.
Opening up to
Opening up to the camera.
Okay.
So it's like it looks really good, but it doesn't like feel the best.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Nah, it's fine.
But
I have my favorites.
the doggy style. What else? What are some of your favorites?
I like the reverse cowgirl, where you
Yeah.
put your feet on the knees and you just kind of bounce up and down.
Okay.
It's tiring, but I get my squat workout in.
Well, it's not tiring for the guy. That's one of our favorites. We love that one.
Nope, not tiring for the guy at all.
We have sex and we do nothing. That's great. Anyway, I'm glad you flew in from Vegas, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Because you're a big ministry fan, as we all are.
Yep.
And here's the man right there. Now, Sin Quirin, the guitar player for Ministry. Now, I'm wearing a shirt from 2008.
Yes.
From the last tour in 2008, which was 10 years ago.
Yes.
And so.
Oh wow.
No, the first time we had you on with Cornelius Grant from the Temptations, and you were.
That's cool.
You were, oh yeah,
Very
he was a cool guy, and we had a girl dancing on the table. It was one of those things.
Oh, that's so fun.
Oh yeah, and please go right ahead. And
Okay.
so Sin was spanking her, and the guy from the Temptations, he was about as old as Uncle Jack. He had a mink glove, and he was petting her with a mink glove. It was pretty hot. And I got that on YouTube now. But so I digress. So the last album, you were recording the last album, From Beer to Eternity.
Yes.
You did the last tour, and then what happened? Was he serious? Was Al Jourgensen serious
About what?
about retiring?
Well, he was serious in 2008 about retiring, but it was like that was really the only retirement tour was the 2008 Last Supper tour, and that was he had a lot of health issues going on back then. And,
Sorry.
Bless you. And
Health or drugs?
no health.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a lot of health issues, and he just wasn't into it anymore. You know, and you know how it is. Like when you're just not feeling good health wise, you just don't feel like doing shit. You
Right.
know? And especially being on a fucking world tour. So
Oh yeah.
he was
couldn't imagine.
he was over it. You know, it was just like this is it, and we knew it going into it, and so we did it. And then after that 2008 tour, he went back to El Paso, and he just kind of rested up and was in the hospital and
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah he had like bleeding ulcers and he was
Oh,
passing
no.
out and
Poor
it was
thing.
just like it was fucked up, and so he rested, he got better, and a few years later he was like, hey, I want to start to do this again, and by that point in time I'd already done 2 Revolting Cocks records,
Right.
and in the meantime, and so after that second Revolting Cocks record,
I didn't know that.
That was Got Cop. No, the Sexo Olympico I
Six
recommend.
Olympico and Got Cop.
Oh shit.
Hooker Bot
Awesome.
3000 is a
That's
great
right,
song.
That's right. Thank you. And so then he was feeling good and wanted to do it again, and then we did a bunch of shit, man. We did the Cover Up record, which is actually what got me my first Grammy nomination.
Right.
And then we did Relapse, and then we toured on the Relapse record, which
Right.
was like 2011 or 2012 or something. And then we did Beard of Eternity, and we've been touring ever since.
Right. No, you've never stopped touring, but I heard
No.
that the record from Beard of Eternity was going to be the last because Mike Scatia.
After Mike Scatia died,
Yeah.
you know, we weren't sure if we were going to continue or not, just because, you know, after losing Mike, it was pretty brutal, and he died like 2 days after he left the studio in Texas. So we were still recording the record, and he split and went back to Dallas, and he died, and so we were just like, fuck, we didn't know if we were even going to finish the record or not at that point, and but then, you know, it's a little time went by, and we knew how much that record meant to Mikey.
Right.
So we were like, fuck, you know, we know that he would have wanted us to continue and sort of carry on, you know. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we finished up the record, and then we took like a year or two off, and didn't tour till like 2014.
Yeah, because Al said that was it. He said, I'm never putting a Ministry record out. If Mike's
that was
out
right
there,
after the Mikey thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was like, you know, he was just like, well, let's get back into it.
And Mike is the guitar player on the vintage Ministry, you know, the Mine's a Terrible Thing to Taste, Psalm 69, all the classics, and not. I mean, he was a big part of that sound.
Absolutely.
But then Al did what was it? Super Meth Machine, what was it called? Surgical Meth Machine.
Yeah.
Were you involved with
That's
that?
real.
No.
I love that name. Yeah.
That was actually the first time that we had contact with Nuclear Blast Records.
Okay.
Was they put out that record, and that's the label that we're on now.
Right.
With Ministry.
So I think he was. I mean, it was very Ministry-like.
Yeah.
So
fucking brutally fast.
He was trying to get away from the name, or trying to do something
he just wanted to do something on his own, you know.
Yeah.
We've done all these records, you know. I've been with him for 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been like part of every album, and you know, written music for, you know, most of the records, and so I think he just wanted to do something on his own,
right?
You know, by himself, and he did that album, you know.
And so, did you think Ministry was ever going to get back together?
I did.
Yeah.
You know, I always have hope, and I always, I don't want, obviously, the band to end. I want it to, you know, continue as long as it can, but I understand that people have other, you know, aspirations, and sometimes their interests go in different directions.
Do their own thing for a little bit,
exactly.
then regroup.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because you're really the, he's a very collaborative guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though in his autobiography he dismisses him, really Paul Barker was his writing partner for a long time.
Yeah.
And then Mikey was, and now you are.
Yeah.
And is that still the case, or is it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, like I said, in the 12 years that I've been with him, I mean, it's primarily been, you know, the way it works is, because I get asked that all the time, and not a lot of people really know, is when it's time for us to do an album, you know, he'll call me, he'll say, hey, you know, let's get some ideas going. So I'll write some songs, and I'll show up to the studio with like song ideas, and basically like I'll work them out in the studio, and then he'll come in and basically take the idea and take it to the next level and add all of his Al stuff that he does and shit like that. And that's kind of how it's been, you know, for 12 years now.
So what's your favorite Ministry song?
Song, come on.
Song, like one song.
Give me one song.
One song.
Give me one song. Hannah, give me one song.
I can't give you one. I can give you like 3 or 4.
Give me 3 or 4. Give me.
I love Stigmata. I love Lava. I love Just One Fix. NWO.
Yeah, and
she was
Ophelia?
quick.
Yeah.
Every day is Halloween.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Please.
Well, it's because like that's the first song I ever heard.
Bop, bop,
and like
bop,
I just.
bop, bop, bop. No. I told Sin when I went to see the final tour, people were in the crowd were yelling Halloween, Halloween, and they didn't play it. But then they redid it as a harder version later on. Were you on that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Well,
you're not gonna give me one?
I mean, for me, it's impossible for me to answer, but I can tell you some that I love playing, and that's The Missing and Deity, which are kind of deep cuts from.
Maybe playing and listening would be different too.
Absolutely, yeah. Like one of my all-time favorite Ministry records is the live one, in case you didn't feel like showing up live.
Oh yeah, with the 2 drummers in the cage
and
the
The Missing and Deity are on that.
Yeah.
So Those are fucking blast for me to play. We got to play those